Okay, so this is part 2 where we're going to be looking at the Instagram app itself. So the Instagram app, you'll notice, is that purpley square was at the bottom there, and you launch it. You need to grab it from the Apple Store. It's free of charge, and you launch it just by tapping it, and it will open up. You'll remember we followed Chloe, and there she is making cards for Care Bag Day. She's amazing. And so you'll I'd like to familiarize you with what you see in front of you. So there's a little camera on the top left-hand corner, and that is the camera that will allow you to create a story. Now, what is a story? A story is basically a disappearing story. Lots of schools use it just to capture moments in the day. Teachers capture moments in their classroom. I'll give you the example of what National Geographic has done. They have something called Chasing Genius, and they are trying to advertise a contest. And it's basically, it could be a video or an image that, again, disappears. If you are going to put something on your story, I'll show you what that looks like right now. So, hi, let's put this picture on our story. And you can put a sticker, celebration. Ooh, I like that. So I can put it there. Ooh, that's not a very good picture of me. So I'm going to take up the whole thing. And then you can put some text. Hello, class, or school, or whatever the case may be. And did you notice you can change the color too? Okay, so there we go. And when you put next, you can add it to your story. And then if I had people that I was following, I can send it individually as a private message to people as well. I'm going to send it to my story. The other thing I could have done when I was in there was there was a little button, and I'll go back in there and show you. So take a picture again. See how there was a little Your Story button? You could have put it directly that way as well. So, okay, so that's enough about your story. And then I just pressed the gear, and it shows you what your story settings can be. And you can allow messages from everyone, or you can turn that off. You can save shared photos directly to your camera roll. So there you go. Okay, so I'm back this is my main screen of Instagram. And you'll notice that at the bottom, there's a search button. That's if I wanted to search someone in particular. And there's a little plus in a box. That is how you create a post. And a post won't disappear in 24 hours. Okay, so just say I wanted to show Chrome keyboard settings. This is Carly Mora created this. I think they're awesome, and I think it'd be a great thing to put on my library class account. So I just went next, and then I can change the filter if I want. If I wanted it to look like that, but I'm going to leave it normal. There are some pictures you might want to share like that, and I'm going to write a caption. I'm going to say, "Hey, check out these shortcuts." And I'm going to go okay. And I can connect, if I go Twitter, I can connect my library Twitter account just by including the username or password and authorizing the app. And you'll remember that it had, in the settings before, it had authorized apps. This is then Twitter would show up in my authorized apps. The same is true for Facebook. I can tag particular people, like if my school was on this account, I could, but I'm just going to share it right now. And you'll notice that it appears as a post. Anyone who is following me will now have that come up on their main feed, just like Chloe's came up on my main feed. If you go to the little icon, whatever your icon will be, in my case, it was the picture of me that I said was there temporarily. You'll notice there's a gearbox. I can edit the profile. So we created our profile on the computer, but if I don't like it, I can edit it right in here by going edit profile. And remember, that's exactly what we saw on the computer. so they sync. But settings, you're going to notice that there are more settings here than there were before. So here I've got authentication. It shows me which users have been blocked. I don't switch to business profile. You can make this a private account, especially if it's a class account and your parents aren't quite sure. That might be the way to get them to feel a little bit more comfortable. And certainly if it's a school account, you don't want it to be private necessarily, but that is a choice that you can make. And then there are notification settings that you can change. So if you don't want to be dinged all the time with notifications, you can change those here. Every time there's a new follower, I don't necessarily need that, right? So you could go through and decide what you want on and what you want off. Okay, so I don't, if people post photos of me, I would like to know, so I'm going to leave that on. Reminders are defaulted off. I don't necessarily want people's first stories, and I think we did some of this on the computer, if I recall. Okay. There are open source libraries. So this is something that you probably want to familiarize yourself with. It would be a great activity for kids to try to make sense of it. Just in terms of the libraries that they use for some of their images. And that's it. You can add an account here. And for the most part, you are going to just post, and your posts will appear here, and you can check them very easily. And again, there's not a lot going on in my account, but those are the basics for now.